Rural development will be given priority in the coming year. Statement by the President. SLFP response to comments made by Northern Province Chief Minister Newsfirst.lk.
ප්‍රධාන අමාත්‍යතුමා විසින් දමිලේනි නැගිටිව් යන තේමාව මුල් කරගෙන කරන ලද දේශපාලන විගඩව අපි දැඩි ලෙස තරයේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ එලා දකින්න මේ අවස්ථාවේ.
New Customs Act to be presented on the 15th of January with the consent of all groups. Statement from the Finance Minister. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya says that a comprehensive understanding of rural development was received through the gum at the program.
පහුගිය අවුරුදු 20 30 තුල මේ රටේ ආණ්ඩු විශාල මුදලක් යොමු කරලා තිබ්බා. නමුත් එය හරි තැනට ලැබිලා නැහැ.
Tensions flare between nuclear neighbours India and Pakistan.
Good evening, this is Primetime News. I'm Joel Outscourt.
And I'm Azra Hassan. Let's now take a look at the top story for tonight.
President Maithripala Sirisena says that prominence will be given to rural development in the coming year.
Special coordinating committee meeting of the PB Demo Polonnaruwa project was held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena this morning. Attention of the President was drawn towards problems faced by farmers in the Polonnaruwa district. Attention will be drawn mainly towards economic development in 2017. We are looking to increase production by investing on such services. 2017 has been named by the government as the year to alleviate poverty. Therefore, all institutions should give prominence to rural economic development in their plans for next year. During 2017, attention should be specially drawn to providing jobs to unemployed youth after identifying their professional skills. We should also create self-employment opportunities and the necessary sponsorship while developing the domestic economy.
Refusing to support India's decision to pull out from the scheduled 19th SAARC summit, followed by Bhutan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Nepal, the present chair of SAARC has strongly urged the member countries to ensure the summit was on time.
Nepal's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement late Wednesday calling for all member states to create a conducive environment for the summit scheduled to take place in Islamabad. Pakistan said today that it will still hold the meet in November as scheduled. According to the SAARC Charter, even if one head of government skips the event, it gets automatically postponed or cancelled.
Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake elaborated on the new Customs Act at a media briefing in Colombo today.
Based on the decisions reached during the meeting held on the 15th of January, we will present the bill with everyone's consent.
The minister used a letter endorsed by the government printer to respond to the claims put forward by the joint opposition, citing that there is a disparity with the dates on which the VAT amendment draft bill was adopted by Cabinet and the date on which the draft bill was gazetted. In the letter, the government printer notes that gazette notifications are generally published on Friday and that supplements are published until the next Friday. The government printer went on to note that the VAT amendment draft bill was published in a supplement on the 13th of September to the gazette of the 9th of September.
Bandula is trying to school us on how to improve the economy, like he tried to feed a family with 2,500 rupees. If he had done this during their administration and reduced their unwanted spending, we would not be facing about 90% of the issues before us today. At such a time, they say, increase the taxes on cigarettes. Do we need to be told that? We will take the necessary steps and more. We do not need to be tutored by him.
The minister also expressed views on a 5% increase in oil prices made by OPEC leaders after they decided to make production cuts for the first time in 8 years.
They had agreed to a reduction in supply which will help to push the price up, not that they increased by 5%. Because of yesterday's statement, it had increased by such a price is what was mentioned. So there was no formal increase of prices. The reduction that is intended would reduce the supply. As a result, the rates would go up is what was speculated. So I guess there is enough areas where speculation is overridden with actual actions. They say they're going to produce X, but they produce X plus. So then automatically there will be a glut created. That will depress the prices.
So there will be no implications for Sri Lanka itself?
I hope not.
What if the prices goes up? How Sri Lanka will face that?
Well, you would face a problem then. We'll have to go more on solar energy.
The stance of the SLFP regarding a statement made by the Chief Minister of Northern Province, C.V. Vigneswaran, was revealed at a media briefing today.
We condemn the political fiasco carried out by Vigneswaran under the name Rise Up Tamil People. Through narrow-minded statements like this, the Chief Minister Vigneswaran is prompting the racists of the South. That is not all. The Tamil Net website has put up a post comparing President Sirisena to DSN Anayaka. They say that like DSN Anayaka, who went and settled people in the south, the president is doing the same in the north. At present, President Maithripala Sirisena has been criticized. We strongly urge him that this statement be revoked. He is a member of the TNA. We ask the TNA to take disciplinary action against him. As the SLFP, we will not at any instance provide our support for a federal constitution that would divide the country. The whole of the Tamil community is not at a racist or extremist stance. We should not get worked up about this. As I said earlier, there are people who have racist ideologies in all communities. These are those ideologies being carried out through programs in the north. The same happens in the south.
Views were expressed regarding the welcome President Maithripala Sirisena received from the international community at the United Nations General Assembly.
I would like to state very clearly that there was a warmer welcome extended to the President than last year. We saw at the traditional lunch hosted by the UN General Secretary, US President Barack Obama, getting up from his table and coming up to our President and saying your country has shown good progress and that they are happy about it. Prime Minister Trudeau was seated next to the President. He extended his hand and said that we should support the President of Sri Lanka to develop his country.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාට උදව් කරන්න. තවදුරට රට සංවර්ධනය කරන්න කියලා.
ඒතර ඔබතුමා නියෝජනය කරා පසුගිය රජයේ සමයේදී. ඒ කාලෙදී මේ තත්ත්වය උදා නොවුනේ මොන හේතුවක්ද? ඔබතුමා ඒ ප්‍රකාශයත් මේ ප්‍රකාශයත් අනුමත කරන්නේ කොයි විදිහටද?
නෑ ඉතින් ඒ කාලේ
If we were to meet a state leader, then we have to go looking for them and we have to wait for a long period of time, sometimes even for weeks to obtain an appointment. We saw this time around them coming to us and asking us for an appointment. When they meet us, they say they appreciate the progress we've made. They say that the journey that we've embarked upon is a good one and that they like this program. Everyone says that they are willing to support us. That is the difference.
The foundation stone for the new Road Development Authority project office, which falls under the purview of the Ministry of Higher Education and Highways, was placed today.
The event in Battaramulla was graced by Subject Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla and State Minister Dilan Pereira.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ අපේ සමහර ආදරණීය නායකයින් ජාතිවාදීන්ගේ සිරකරුව බවට පත් කළා.
Some of the leaders of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party have become prisoners of racists. They are attempting to reintegrate the germs known as nationalism and racism to society and corrupt the minds of the people to a position where the roads, bridges and anicuts developed by us would be destroyed by bombs. A certain section of the SLFP has been held prisoner by these racists and nationalists. That is why there is an internal issue. They have an issue with the path undertaken by President Maithripala Sirisena and the rest of the party. We are against the attempts made to mutilate the Bandaranaike policy of the SLFP. The TNA is also facing a similar issue. Sambandhan and Sumandiran have become prisoners of Vigneswaran.
මධ්‍යස්ථ මතධාරී දෙමළ ජනතාව එක්ක ප්‍රශ්නයක් මතු කරගෙන තිබෙනවා. මම හැමදාම කිව්ව දෙයක් තමයි බලය බෙදන්න තිබෙන නිදහස ලැබෙනකොට.
I've constantly mentioned the fact that devolution of power should have taken place when independence was achieved. That is where we went wrong. Power devolution took place when India achieved independence. There was a proposal for power devolution when we achieved independence, but it was not accepted. If it was done back then, there would be no race issue. Sri Lanka could have become a developed nation. However, the nationalist factions are attempting to destabilize the national government.
Minister Sajith Premadasa, addressing an event in Lunugamwera today, commented on attempts to made to mislead the people.
එක්කෙනෙක් කියනවා උතුරු නැගෙනහිර එකතු කරනවා
One individual says that his struggle is for the merger of the North and East. He is saying it from the North. Another from the South says that the government is bringing a new constitution where Buddhism will lose its due place. He says that the country is in shambles. They're attempting to enrage the people by distorting their minds. One is doing it from the North while the other is doing it from the South. What is their objective? Their objective is to see the country in flames. The one in the South wants to obtain the post of Prime Minister through the back door, even if the country goes up in flames.
තමන්ගේ අරමුණ කරාය දකුණ එක්කෙනාටත් ඕන රටගිනි කියලා හරි අගමැතිකම හරි පස්සා දොරෙන් ගන්න.
The minister shared these views during an event to present land deeds to low-income families at the Lulugambehere Pradesh Sabha.
Former Minister Basil Rajapaksa appeared before the media in Battaramulla today.
The government is afraid. They are waiting to see when the new party will be formed and who will lead it. There is no requirement for a new party if the people are not harassed. There is a need because of the acts against the people. That is why a party has been formed for the people.
It is said that you are the leader.
The people will decide. There are many leaders. Thousands of leaders will be created.
If a request is made, will you accept it?
No, I will not accept it. It is easy to advise, criticize and make suggestions, but it takes a Herculean effort to recognize the people's issues and provide practical solutions to those issues. Despite numerous obstacles, we at Newsfirst were able to provide solutions to numerous issues faced by the public through the Gammadha 100 Days Initiative.
Gammadha 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
Projects given priority over the past 71 days under the Gammadha 100 Days Initiative were vested with the public through the assistance of fellow Sri Lankans with big hearts. Pathalaya was constantly battered by encroaching wild elephants. However, now the villagers can spend their nights without any fear, all thanks to an electric fence set up under the Gammadha 100-Day Initiative.
ඇත්තටම අපිට ගොඩක්ම ප්‍රයෝජනවත් වෙනවා සිරස ආයතනයෙන් අලිවට ගහලා දුන්න එක ගැන.
වචන නැහැ ඒක ස්තුති කරා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ තරමට තිබිච්ච බරපතලම වැඩේ කළා දුන්නා.
The Gammadha 100 Days also managed to bring smiles to the faces of the children at the Hambegamu Secondary School who suffered due to issues surrounding drinking water. Several projects that would save hundreds of thousands of lives from chronic kidney disease was also vested with the people of Hambegamu.
දැනුත් මේ ආයේ වතුර ගෙනියන්න කිලෝමීටර 5ක් 6ක් දුරින් ඉඳලා නැත්තම් අපි තව කිලෝමීටර 6ක් විතර යාත්‍රා යනවා අරමගෙමට.
දැන් හොඳ වතුර ටිකක් අපිට බොන්න පුළුවන්.
We did not stop from there. Renovation of rural roads commenced with the renovation of the Keenakatia access road in Galle. The access road to Keenakatia, which could not be used for many reasons, have now been transformed to a main road, which is being used for major initiatives. Our work is not yet done. The Gammadha 100 Days Initiative will continue its service of bringing joy to the sorrowful hearts.
The Gammadha 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
The International Conference on Poverty and Sustainable Development, organized by the Department of Divinagama Development, was held in Kandy. These comments were made to media following the conference.
ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට මතක ඇති ගම්මැද්ද
You might recall the Gum Map the program, which was a joint initiative of the University of Peradeniya. One thing that we noted was the tremendous shortcoming in infrastructure development. The governments of the past 2 to 3 decades allocated large amounts of funds. However, those funds had not reached the intended targets. All governments use Pradeshya Sabhas for rural development. We believe that the system in place is not successful because the funds have not reached those who require them and there has not been any rural development. That is what we identified through the Gum Map the program. What is required is an open-minded discussion with all intellectuals on all these issues.
මෙතන මේ විද්වතුන් එකහුව වෙලා කරන්නේ.
දැන් මේ ඒකාබද්ධ විපක්ෂයේ අය අත්අඩංගුවට ගත්තාම
When persons from the joint opposition are taken into custody, rather than yelling that this is an act of revenge, they must respond to the allegations made against them. If Namal faces allegations and is arrested, he must comment as to how he acquired funds and how he used those funds. If Yoshita is being arrested, he too must comment on how he acquired those funds. This is a simple matter. Mahinda Ananda has to say that his house is not worth 24 million, but more than that. But rather than answering the charges against him, he claims that this is an act of revenge.
A woman was killed in a shooting that was carried out by an unidentified shooter on a motorbike in Valipanna, Kalutara. Our correspondent stated that the shooting had been carried out last night and that a woman residing in a nearby house was the victim. A child and another individual also suffered injuries.
Everyone comes here. The neighbors come here when they go home after work. They come here to talk to us and then go home. The person who was shot at was a person like that. Another child from a nearby house has also been shot. I informed the police about people that I suspect. I suspect Sujiva. He is a major criminal in the area. He threatened me over the phone about 3 months ago as well. He said that my whole family will have to get coffins.
The person behind the shooting has not been identified as yet. The injured are receiving treatment at the Nagada hospital in Kalutara. Police have arrested 2 more suspects in connection to the fatal shooting of the former chairman of the Galle District Cricket Association, Halamage Premasuri. Our correspondent stated that the suspects were arrested in the Hikkadua and Watugedora areas this morning based on the information received from the chief suspect arrested on the 27th of this month in the Galle Fort area. Police said following interrogation of the suspects, a T-56 firearm and a stock of live ammunition and a vehicle was discovered. Police said that after being produced before the Balapitia Chief Magistrate, they were placed under remand custody until the 10th of next month. The chairman of the Galle District Cricket Association was murdered on the 12th of August.
An individual who stole gold jewellery by intimidating persons was arrested by the Kiribati police last night in the Bulugahagoda area in Kalaniya following a tip-off.
The theft carried out by the armed robbers was captured on CCTV camera. Police also recovered 28 sovereigns of gold, which was in the possession of the suspect. The police also noted that the suspect's partner, who is also his brother, had fled the area and operations are underway to apprehend him.
The suspect arrested over the homicide of journalist Lasantha Wickramatunge was further remanded until the 13th of October by the Mandlavina magistrate Muhammad Sahabdeen.
The Criminal Investigations Department informed court that the suspect had misplaced a number of documents of the Sri Lanka Army and added that investigations are underway. The attorney appearing on behalf of the suspect sought bail for his client under any condition. However, the magistrate rejected the request and further remanded the suspect. The magistrate also ordered for the autopsy report of the exhumed body of the late Lasantha Wickramatunge be produced on that day.
A brave officer of the military, a successful businessman, a distinguished diplomat, an influential statesman and current Speaker of Parliament, Karu Jayasuriya, celebrated his 76th birthday today. Here's a look back at his illustrious life.
Born on the 29th of September 1940, Karu Jayasuriya received his primary education from the Kandakamuwa Mahavidyalaya. His exceptional skills earned him a place in Ananda College, Colombo. After completing his secondary education, he went on to become a Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers in UK and a Fellow of the French Business School, INSEAD. In 1956, Karu Jayasuriya took a bold decision to enter the Sri Lankan Armed Forces as a commissioned officer and continued to serve the military till 1972. Thereafter, Jayasuriya launched his successful business career, during which he served as the chairman, CEO and director of 52 private sector as well as public quoted companies. December 1994 marked yet another turning point in Karu Jayasuriya's life, as he was invited to join the United National Party and was appointed as the secretary and coordinator of the party. By 1997, Karu Jayasuriya was elected as the mayor of Colombo and served in his position for a period of 2 years before contesting the Western Provincial Council polls in 1999 as the UMP's chief ministerial candidate and went on to become the opposition leader of the council. In 2001, he took the next step in his political career and was elected to parliament. He first served as the Minister of Power and Energy from 2001 to 2004 before taking up responsibilities as the Minister of Public Administration and Home Affairs in 2007. A former chairman and deputy leader of the UMP, he entered parliament this time around and became the Speaker of the 8th Parliament of Sri Lanka, taking up his most challenging role yet. We at News First wish you a happy birthday.
New Air Force Commander Air Marshal Kapila Jampati paid homage to the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic today.
The commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force visited the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic in Kandy this morning and engaged in religious observances. The Air Force commander also visited the temple's museum. He thereafter called on the Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter, the most venerable Warakagoda Yanaratana Thero, and engaged in a cordial discussion. He also called on the Mahanayaka of the Malwada chapter, the most venerable Tibbatuwave Sri Sumangala Thero, and obtained his blessings.
The
dream of every commander is to lead his troops to the best position he can. I too have a dream. My ambition is to take the Sri Lanka Air Force forward in line with the vision of the political authority, while protecting the unitary state of the nation, the people and the political authority. I am also committed to take care of the families and children of fallen war heroes and ensure that they have a better future. We will not draw back our security programs. We are vigilant at all times. As we are not facing a conflict, many question the use of the personnel and the aircraft that we have. We have commenced the use of the aircraft for civil flights and transport large number of tourists.
Toughline Limited, a company under the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, added a new food packing machine to its operations today.
The new addition was made today at the Toughline Limited premises in Migura. Incidentally, this is the first time in Sri Lanka that a state-of-the-art food packaging machine is being added to a production line. Through the introduction of new technology, Toughline Limited expects to pay special attention to the quality and other aspects that are essential in packaging.
The Friday Forum has called on the steering committee of the Constitutional Assembly to address several areas of concern through the new constitution.
Issuing a media release, the Friday Forum calls on the steering committee of the Constitutional Assembly to repeal Article 16 of the 1978 Constitution, which prevents judicial review of laws that came into existence before 1978, even if they violate constitutional guarantees on fundamental rights, including equality and non-discrimination. According to the Friday Forum, many of these laws are discriminatory of women and other social groups and include laws relating to land and criminal law. The media release also points out the existence of personal laws that are applicable in Sri Lanka, such as the Kandyan law and Tesavalame law, which are not based on religion. The Friday Forum has also called for the incorporation of social and economic rights into the chapter on fundamental rights. The forum elaborates that socio-economic rights are not given the same status as civil and political rights, as they are considered to be issues of social welfare policy decided at the discretion of the state. Recognition of socio-economic rights in the new constitution, according to the Friday Forum, is one way of ensuring budget scrutiny and accountability in the use of national resources in the public interest instead of fiscal profligacy and waste of public funds.
A project to provide temporary housing facilities to those who have been affected by the recent floods in Kolonnawa took place today.
The Give to Asia initiative, together with the Sarvoti movement, commenced a project to construct houses for 33 families in the Nagahamulla area in Dampura in Kolonnawa. We saw what had happened to these people through the Kammed program on Sirasa. The Kolonnawa Pradesh Sabha spoke to these people and wrote to a number of institutes. Give to Asia was one such institute. This is an American institute. We thought of helping these people by building homes for them.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Azra Hassan for News First.
And I'm Joel Outskun. Take care. Good night.